Hello, everybody, and welcome to semifinal day here in the CAA. Coach in the year in the CAA and Jill Batcher. They got the player of the year in Carson Harris, and then they got Zoe Bennett, the goalie of the year in the CAA as well. Absolutely, and we look over what they've done this year. Carson Harris, those 55 goals, 6 assists. She and the rest of this group, they have just clicked all season long.
Yeah, she's the CAA player of the year, and I want her to play like that. She's so dominant on the offensive end that, like you said, the offense just clicks, and she has been waiting for this moment. So I really hope she enjoys it and she takes it on. Philosophy was, if we can keep the ball in our stick, they won't have the ball, so they can't score, which is, it sounds, well, of course, that's what you want to happen. But that's something you need to really keep in mind and kind of drain into the players that's what you want to happen. So we'll see if they can do that.
That was Carson Harris picking up that draw control there in the middle. Number 1 here on the team. First in the CAA in draw controls per game as well for the player of the year. So she doesn't just score, folks. She does it all. 72 of them make it 73 now.
Here, unforced turnover by Towson, something that I'm sure Towson wants to have back, especially after a goal. But we can see that they are run and gun team. Drexel has their head up. Carson here has her head up. She knows, she sees the play. She feeds it right back. Good control here, little bobble, and an awesome finish.
Just works her way inside to the right side, gets it taken away on the way in. Thought McHugh got her stick in there. McHugh remains in there, and guess who comes out with it? Carson Harris. I said she does it all. She came in tied for first on the team in ground balls as well.
Not a dangerous foul, just something to just slow them down a little bit, get their defense back into position.
Harris walks in and scores her first of the day. Drexel takes a 3-1 lead. Goal number 56 of the season. That is a school record.
CAA player of the year, you have to send 2-3 people to her early. You give her space, you let her hands be free, she is going to goal as she should, and she knows how to finish, and that was a great finish. Nice and low, with all of her speed going forward. She'll do that to you all day if you let her.
She's got at least 4 goals in her last 6 games, so she has picked her play up as the season has gone on. In the last game against Towson, she had 4 goals, 4 ground balls, and 5 draw controls. She had 7 goals against Towson back on April 13th, so she is a thorn in their side. She's been a thorn in the sides of a lot of defenses here in the CAA. In history. 2 more, and she ties Natalie Salmonte. She's the one who was called for the foul there. Harris picks it up quickly, out to Bednarik. To tie. There's Marshall. 10 minutes in, and once again, Harris picks up the GB. Here she comes the other way, this time from the right side. Normally we see her from the left side, but she's gonna weave her way in, working it into the middle, the low shot, scores Bednarik again. Bednarik's second of the day. Go ahead, Kelly.
And that started with Carson. The speed and the head up, creating something in an all-out, even play, man-to-man. She created the slide, and she was easily able to do it.
Drexel leading 4-2. We'll be right back here on LAC Sports Network. Young players coming up, and then you've got some of these senior teams like Drexel that are just clicking. It's Harris getting another draw control. So finally, Drexel wins one after it had been Towson dominating for the greater portion of this half. Situations, but this is the CAA Semifinals. So this is a very unique situation to have that switch to be able to put on, and we'll see if they do that. Inside she goes, and I think she draws a shooting space as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of one-on-one dodging going on and maybe not as much off-ball movement. And I think that's something that Drexel needs to focus on, that although they have, the ball in the players that they want, in the sticks that they want, they need to continue to move as 7.
Here comes Harris all the way in, and I think she got pushed beforehand. So she'll do and we'll reset. Harris really good. She is the counter to Blair Perry on the Towson Tigers side. 19 of 35 free position goals this year. That's first on the Dragons. loves that left side, doesn't she, Kelly? Yeah.
Yeah, and I haven't seen her get rattled, you know, even in her hardest moments.
Here she goes low and scores. She beats Merlot, and just like that, it's 6-6. Harris' second of the day.
And that is a prime example. You know, she got shoved on the first 8-meter. She jogged back to the start, and she knew she was going to get another opportunity. And she just had that mentality, I'm going to put this opportunity away. And she did just that. She's an incredible player. From the looks of it, a good teammate. And, you know, she gets those opportunities, she's going to take them.
Leads the CAA in goals per game, draw controls per game. She's 10th in the nation in goals this year, 11th in goals per game. So you're watching one of the best to do it here from box to box, really. Some critical scoring area to critical scoring area. She's all over the field. But players like that don't come often, and they're fun to watch.
No, yeah, and you know, I love her story because she wasn't always on the winning team. She was more so on the losing team most of the time, and she just kept working and kept working and kept working, and it's paying off for her. I mean, they talked about how she's played almost every minute of her career, and she's finally getting that moment and taking that opportunity.
Yeah, a cool stage here in the CAA semifinals. Able to do much against this defense so far. The leading assister on this team has been held off the score sheet. But Harris continues to do what she does, and she draws a lot of fouls and makes a big impact. So she gets it here. Looks like it's on the fan. The outer rim, that's 12 meters. Goes down, gets back up again.
You know, and that was a big ground ball.
Harris into the middle. Schneiderith scores. Drexel takes the lead back. This is Lucy. Her first goal of the day.
Harris at this point in the season knows that she was going to get 2 or 3 defenders sent her way, and she is playing that card very well. She's pulling out, she has her head up, she doesn't stop moving her feet, she threads the needle here, and this is a really good handle inside by Lucy. To turn and protect and do all of those things while then finishing. This Drexel team is starting to feel it clicking on a couple different possessions, and that celebration is just great. Seeing like she has in the past, there's another one just in the wings ready to step up.
And there's another draw control win for Carson Harris. And they'll work it into their offensive zone. Grady trying to dodge her way. Goals for established things early with 7 saves for the Tigers, but Drexel able to get some momentum. 2 goals, 2 assists from the player of the year, Carson Harris. Corinne Bednarik has a hat trick for the Dragons. Harris, there's the shooting space call right there. Harris will get it from her spot on the arc. 2 goals, 2 assists in that first half of play. The CAA Player of the Year, the senior from Grant Mills, Maryland. She's off with the whistle. She gets her way inside, and she's walking.
Yeah, Carly seeing the ball well, especially on those 8 meters early on. That only can give the defense some confidence there.
Still 9-9, Towson getting the first one. And a lot of cheering there as a lot of pressure put on by Harris. And she gets the ball back for Drexel there on the clear. Altuve making sure that got out of the stick of Carson Harris quickly.
Just good protection, too, on Carson's part. I mean, she almost always feels those players around her, and you think she's going to get checked, and then she pulls away, and she makes the pass that's necessary.
Harris guarded there up top by Miller. Back to Harris inside, and she gets fouled. So there she goes, taking her spot with some attitude on that arc. A physical play there, played by Miller. Harris has 2 goals, 2 assists today. Yeah, the good thing about being a player like Harris is that she plays on both ends of the field. I mean, she's all over the place. So, I mean, she can go and do something else to sort of shake that off quickly. Here's now And this is where the seniors step up. The Schneiders are seniors. Harris is a senior as well. Grady. I mean, this is where the experience comes into play.
The list goes on, and they are, they're best pals, all of them, on and off the field. You can see that little sisterly hug that they gave. Let's see if they come together here. They're ready to battle. It's going to be a good finish.
The penalty released, but it's Drexel who gets possession anyway. It's Harris. She might just go right to the cage here. And she gets fouled going in. I think she was in the critical scoring area. So that aggressiveness might pay off.
You have to know that when she has the ball, the mindset for her is go to goal. And she is not scared of any swinging stick or body that's in front of her. That's her mindset, so you have to find a way to stop her.
She's got 2 goals, 2 assists today. This is where she makes her money, right here. Looking for the tie, and she gets it. Drexel ties it, 14-14, a hat trick for Carson Harris.
I was nervous at first because she looked over to the sideline kind of asking her coach, should I not shoot this? I was going to say, heck no, shoot this. This ball's in your stick. You're at an 8-meter. That is your hash mark. You know what to do there, Carson, and she did just that. And she made it a tie game. It's, again, nothing. Clean slate. Let's see what happens.
I mean, Carson Harris, the 2021 CAA Player of the Year. You see the hat trick. You see the 2 assists. She also has 6 draw controls today, 2 ground balls, and a caused turnover. So Harris is doing it all just as she has all season long. This is why we told you how good she was. This is why she was recognized as the Player of the Year.
There's a time that the game is just slipping away from them. They
get it in the offensive zone successfully here into the stick of Harris. There's players you feel comfortable when the ball's in their stick. Harris is one of them, Grady as well for this team, and I think that's another example of the experience they have. And that pass picked off by Carson Harris.
What team is going to get the ball down on one side of the field and just, get possession, gain possession? You got to assume that these middies are a little tired here.
3, 2, 1 last launch. Almost close to there. Bennett wasn't looking. And Tom Eschen, the overtime period.
That was the biggest draw there was. This is actually one of the biggest draw controls there is. And looks like they're giving the ball to
We'll find
Drexel.
out what just happened because the biggest draw control just went the way of the Drexel Dragons.
Wow, that is a huge call.
I don't believe there was an outstanding penalty beforehand unless we saw there was one that happened during the break that we didn't see. But it's going to be Drexel who starts here. 3 minutes to play. Overtime period has commenced. Towson was receiving of a green card there. We talked about the green card earlier on in the game. Here is Harris. Back to Bednarik, wide open. Excuse me, that was Dietzel who gets hit as she went in. And we've got a yellow card, so yet another player up for these Drexel Dragons. Dietzel went in hard and she got hit pretty hard too.
I mean, I don't mean to take away from this offensive set, but it's again another opportunity that I think we got a tip on that. The goalie got a tip on that, but it's another opportunity to just take an extra second, put it around the goalkeeper, and finish strong. Let's see if she can redo that one.
Dietzel with a chance to send her team to the championship. There she goes. She takes the shot and she makes the shot. Drexel's heading to the championship. The senior from Doylestown, Pennsylvania, scoring her 15th goal in the season here in overtime. The Dragons advance and survive 15-14 over the Tigers.
And in these type of games, you never want a team to walk away as the loser. As a senior, a 3-time captain, she has gone through the struggles of the Drexel Dragons, right? When they were not the top of the top. And now she's seen her, I believe they did, and they did fight for their game plan. And
we mentioned off the top in the open, it's the first time ever Drexel's had a coach, a player, goalie of the year in the CAA. First time they've had 3+ players on the all-CAA first team. I mean, it's really just, it's been a magical season. I mean, you say that sometimes, and it's really just been a magical season, Kelly. I mean, there's no other way to describe it.
Yeah, and honestly, I think when they're walking away from this game now and they have the win, that they...
Stay tuned for semifinal number 2 right here on Lax Sports Network.